Hello, and welcome back to the interview. We've done the interview before. I don't know how long ago was it. Can you remind me?
I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago, or something like that.
It feels like, just a quick wisp of the wind has passed, and here we are again. But here
A
you
quick
are.
thought.
Here you are, Thomas and Gary from Flyos Games. Basically grew so much, at least when it comes to the amount of products and things you're working on since then. What was the path for you since the time where we talked 2 years ago, just about to release chapters up until now?
Thomas, go ahead.
All right. Since the last time we spoke, we've worked extensively on chapters. We've also made a pledge manager, shipped it. We've worked on Retaliation as well. We've launched a campaign. We're wrapping this up. So much. We've also worked on other project and products. So yeah, it was quite busy. Gary, do you have any details about this specifically?
Yeah. So as Thomas said, we delivered like the first edition of chapters, and let's talk about the elephant in the room. There has like some errata in the game, and because of the size of the game, small amount of errata per percentage becomes like loads of hiccups here and there. So we managed to rework all the scenarios. We hired I think for the past 2 years 6 or 7 designers walk through each chapter one by one. We reviewed the comments of all the backers. Thanks to all of them who gave us their feedback on that. And we've been working on an app to deliver these new scenarios for the definitive edition. So we're happy to say that 100% of chapters is now fully reviewed, fully playable, fully completed with no major errata. We don't promise there's no typo here and there. Okay, let me be straight on that. But the game is no longer break, so you can use the app if you have the even the first edition of chapters and play 100% fluid and balanced game, which is it was like a long road to be there, but that was the minimum we could do. And as Thomas said, chapters was done, so we moved on Retaliation. And not to repeat the same process from chapters, we decided to be more thorough, work harder than ever on that. So we changed some rules here and there, and we are about to send a message to all the backers, because when you make a change, you assume it's for the best. But we have to be very transparent about that, talk about everything that's changed, the reason why we change it, and present some apology to some who feels like a bit, that needs information, needs a communication. So yeah, Retaliation has some change. We have a third of the campaign that is 100% completed, but there's still some work to be done on this one. And it's such a great challenge. It's, for us, the best combat system we've developed so far, which is really, really good. And we can't wait to share these scenarios, maybe in the coming month, to players who can test it for themselves and give us their feedback.
I will get back to the topic of the app soon, because that's one of the things that we have for folks today on the Month of Darkness. But what I want to also talk about is maybe for folks who have not played chapters or have not seen this fully. When you talk about errata, how much text, if you remember, is in Vampire the Masquerade chapters total?
I'm gonna have to double check the numbers based on language, but the last estimation was 720,000 words.
Wow.
So it's between the trilogy of The Lord of the Ring and the 7 books of Harry Potter. And the errata total concerns actually, if I'm not mistaken, 2 pages. But it's on specific points. And when you're making such a big game and you're launching on Kickstarter, it's a long process.
Exactly.
And you have to grow through it. You coming into the big leagues, and the shift into the players market is very different. There is no more frustration. Everything needs to be perfect. And we hear you. We hear the community, and the community is what is very detrimental to our growth. And It's an humbling, but it's also a growing experience. So we're taking the best out of this as well.
I feel like it was such a huge project to take upon you, and I remember when you were still going for the production, and the changes in how the miniatures were made, and all of that stuff just to deliver the best quality product. It's been a long road, but I'm so happy that we are in this place where we are right now, with Retaliation also coming at people's tables. Do you have any cool stories about people playing chapters already, or playtesting throughout these years since we've talked, that you want to share?
I have one.
Okay.
I have one. We have like an Easter egg that nobody found yet.
In
Yeah.
chapters?
In chapters, yeah. So Thomas and I like put it one an Easter egg from the Montreal by Night RPG expansion.
Mm-hmm.
And it's in the story, and no one found it yet. I think like Thomas said that there's many people waiting for the app to be completed so they can play like a fluid game, because we release like scenarios week by week, month by month on some time. And now that it's completed, more players will be able to play it, find it. Yeah.
That's good. I'm going to
Maybe that's right. I mean,
I'm going to look
I
for
mean-
answers here and see if anyone has
Oh,
found.
There is a lot. There is a lot of Easter eggs and lore that we've poured into the games. One of the, I remember the first backer that actually reached out to us and was taking picture with the game. The Italians, and I think they finished the game in like 2 weeks or something. So there is 8 prologues, interlude, side quests, 41 scenarios. So being able to just rush 2 weeks for it, actually, I think they took some vacation to do it. And because they were the first, they were like, can we be added in Retaliation as an NPC? Like, this is the kind of conversation we love to have. Obviously, there is some growing part, but we receive so much love from the community. And we've talked extensively in the past, Martina, about how committed and how passionate we are about Vampire the Masquerade. We've been playing Vampire the Masquerade for 20 years. I actually started to play with this guy. I don't know which side he is in the interview, but being a TTRPG player is something that marks you as a gamer, as a person. It also expands the way you can feel about things, and we wanted to give back what we received, and it's still the case.
And I mean, I'm sure that people can see it with how much you're pouring into these games. But speaking of things that we have for players, the app, can you tell me a little bit more about it? It seems like we have a full digital app for Vampire the Masquerade chapters available right now. How does it work? Does it cost anything? How can we get on?
All right, so I can answer this question. So basically, the app exists in the first place because for making chapters, we had to create a full app on our own, which is a tool that allows us to replace like the InDesign and whatever tools that you use to make like mise en page. See, because you inject like human error. So what we wanted is to have a tool that basically says when you move on that page to another, it keeps like the right tracking. So you no longer can be directed to a wrong page.
Yeah.
This was like detrimental for us to make sure we have no human mistake added to the game. And by doing so, we were like, okay, so if we have a tool that automatizes things to make PDFs for the factory, maybe we can use that as an app for players. So we're like, okay, let's evaluate that. And basically what you can do is navigate through the system. So we created a branch dedicated for the users. So we had to think of UX, UI stuff just to make it more like, simple to use, more friendly for the players. And the app is like the digital booklets you have in the game. So whenever you can swipe from one page to another, you can click on a call to action when it says, for example, go to page event 20, you click on it and it leads you to the right page. All the feeding events are present in it. So it replaces the storybook, which is the big book of 270 pages, and the booklets. And you can even have access to the rule book as well. So it gives to players who want to keep their game pristine, because it's booklets in the physical game. So you have to bend it and its use and stuff. So if you play with the app, it keeps your material pristine. It doesn't replace tokens yet, but you have all the experience, all the narrative experience is present in the app.
That's really cool. And is it available for a cost or for free? How can we access it?
100% free. So any backer, any player, anyone who wishes just to take a look at it or play the game can go to the webpage, which is, for the moment, it's a web app. 100% of all scenarios are present at the moment. But in the coming weeks, month, we will release it for free again on the App Store and on the Android store too.
That's amazing. So you can just have a phone at your table and use it like that. Very
Yeah,
handy.
Or your iPad or your computer. It's designed for all devices.
Tell me if I'm wrong, but I've checked the app so far, and my first idea that I had in my mind is that it would make streaming Vampire the Masquerade chapters much easier, because we will be able to show people what's going on on the table. So as long as we have the camera on our tokens and the map, we can actually, screen grab the app and actually show it on streams. Would I be right to say that?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Awesome.
Gives
you some ideas.
Exactly. This is a pretty good idea.
All right. So, with that covered, I would love to ask you about something else. Apparently, there is another surprise for our fans available since today, and that is ability to play and test out Vampire the Masquerade chapters online. And how can we do that?
Well, we've made a partnership with Tabletopia. It's a free platform. You can jump on it right now, actually, and start playing all the prologues of Vampire the Masquerade chapters, and up until the scenario number 6, up until the first interlude. The idea is to be able to give away a chance for anyone to play Vampire the Masquerade chapters on Tabletopia. But you can always stream it, apparently, but that's a very good idea, with the app as well. The idea is to be able to show off the beginning of the campaign. What is it about? How do you play it? How does the social mechanism work? How does the combat work? How does the investigation work? And of course, what is hidden inside the belly of the city? Because Montreal has been obviously a very important place in the World of Darkness, especially up until 1999. And this is where the breadcrumb of the main and the other one investigation starts. So the story starts here, and we want to give a preview of what you can expect in Vampire the Masquerade chapters.
That sounds great. And of course, we have yet another surprise, because 2 surprises is not enough. And that is a promo if people want to get chapters physically after playing in Tabletopia, if they really enjoy it, and after checking the web app and saying, oh, that's something for me. How can they get it a little bit cheaper currently? What's the deal?
So the deal is quite simple. We still have a few copies at the Montreal office, some copies of the first edition of chapters. And basically, you can come up to our online store, link in the description below, I guess. Mm-hmm. And I'm not used to the YouTube stuff, but I think
that works perfectly.
Okay, good. Thank you. So you can purchase the copy, and we will deliver the copy of the first edition for free if you live in Canada or in the US. So if you use the web app, you will have like a 100% clean experience of chapters.
That sounds awesome. And of course, we know you are not settling. This is not the last word that you have said with Retaliation and with all of these awesome releases we had this month of Darkness. Where can we follow you and see what you're doing next to make sure to be the first ones to jump on any new project that you have behind your belt?
Of course, there is our website, flyosgames.com. But recently, we've started Discord. server, and it's very active, especially with all the different projects that we had. We have project by project, and we love to hear the feedback of the players. I mean, we still receive some emails about our first game from Peruvian teachers actually using Quetzin to teach kids some English.
Wow.
And yeah, it's that what gives you the oomph to keep on pushing, to keep on improving. So if you want to get close to us and participate and give your insight and give you feedback, this is where this is the place to be.
That sounds amazing. And do you have any last words before we part for hopefully not another 2 years before the next interview?
Oh, we do, but we can't say anything yet. So let's stay tuned. There is more coming up.
Thank you so much for joining me, Gary, Thomas. It was, as usual, a pleasure to have you here. And good luck on all your future endeavors.
Thank you so much, Martina. See you soon.